Welcome to TeachMeIOS.com. Come along for the ride as I head to my local Apple store to try on Apple's latest and most personal product, Apple Watch. In this video, I'll tell you about my experience at an Apple Watch fitting appointment. I'll give my opinions on the different collections and bands, and I'll show you a little bit about how Apple Watch works. My local Apple store had two of the three collections available to try on, Apple Watch and Apple Watch Sport. While they did have some Apple Watch Edition models in yellow and rose gold in the watch case, these weren't available during the fitting. The first model I tried on was a 42mm Apple Watch in stainless steel with a black classic buckle. The leather band felt really good on my wrist, and the stainless steel Apple Watch had a nice weighted, but not heavy, feel to it. The first thing that impressed me was the brightness and clarity of the screen. Images and text were easy to see, even on such a small display. Almost immediately during the demo loop, I received a text message and experienced the watch's taptic feedback for the first time. It feels really different from the vibration motor in your phone and much more like someone is actually tapping you on the wrist. It was subtle but noticeable. I'm really excited for this feature and could quickly see how useful it would be, particularly with the watch's sound effects muted. The watch felt impressively well built. The 42mm size feels good, and while it's bigger than I prefer, it didn't feel huge. Here you can see the sensors on the back of the watch that measure things like your heart rate throughout the day. I also asked if I could try on the Milanese loop band. I really like the way this band looks. Its magnetic closure is really strong, and the texture of it feels more like fabric than the stainless steel it's actually made out of. It looks great paired with the Apple Watch collection. The next model I tried on was a 38mm Apple Watch Sport with a white sport band. I pre-ordered this same model except in space gray with a black sport band. I really like the size of the smaller watch, and it doesn't look like it was only designed for a woman's wrist like I'd been nervous about. The Apple Watch Sport is noticeably lighter than the stainless steel version I tried on first. The sport band feels great and much more like satin than rubber. It's very soft. My Apple store didn't have a 38mm space gray watch available for try-on, but I tried on a 42mm version in that color just to get an idea of how it looks. I really like the matte gray finish, and it looks really slick on my wrist. This got me really excited for when my watch arrives. The Apple genius who was helping me try on the watch explained that watches that ship with a sport band actually come with two different size bands, small medium and medium large. I knew this already, but what I didn't know is that the sport band actually ships in 3 parts, not 4, one half with a pin and 2 differently sized halves with the holes. The Apple genius then showed me how easy it is to switch the bands. She had a tough time pushing the button that releases the band while the watch was in her hand, but then had a much easier time once it was on the table. After I was done trying on watches, the Apple genius gave me a quick demo of how to find and navigate to a location in the Maps app. This was really quick and easy. After that, the Apple genius left me alone to play with a functioning watch. It was pretty interesting to see how watchOS works. While it was easy for the most part, there are some things that will definitely take some getting used to. Force Touch, initiated by pressing harder on the screen, was really easy to activate. It can be tricky to know where to use it and what to use it for, though. Here it can be used to change and customize watch faces. Figuring out the right combination of taps, buttons, the digital crown, and Force Touch can be tough initially, though I think it will become more intuitive over time. Adjusting the complications on the watch faces was pretty cool. You can really customize the look of your watch. I can see myself doing this often, keeping the look of my watch fresh. Notification Center felt familiar, just swipe down from the top of the screen. Swiping up from the bottom of the screen shows you glances, toggles, quick views of apps, and information. I did notice that the Maps glance, which fetches your location, takes a really long time to do so. Everything else seemed quick and snappy though. Single pressing the button on the side below the digital crown brings up your contacts. You can then use the crown to select a contact, and then choose how you'd like to connect with them. As you can see, navigating this interface is going to take some getting used to. Double tapping this button lets you pay with Apple Pay. Here's a quick look at the Photos app. And the Remote app. The apps included on Apple Watch have a ton of potential, and I'm really excited to see how they make the Apple Watch an important part of my daily life.